Live streaming is on.
Hi, everyone. We are now starting the afternoon session of the SIGEF online special edition related to the G20. I'm very pleased and privileged to welcome three champions of women empowerment. They have different cultures, they come from different places, but they converge with their commitment to support the empowerment of women, resonating and echoing the Sustainable Development Goals dedicated to gender equality. At the moment, we are living a critical time which have many adverse effects, and some of them are directly affecting gender equality and women. So we will learn from those three champions and change makers, and we will listen to their journey, their personal journey, and as well their aspirations and dreams. So enable me to briefly introduce, first of all, the first speaker, which will be, in the conversation, Candace Gnok Bisex, who is from originally Cameroon. Candace has a passion for digital technology and women empowerment. She had the opportunity to contribute with many organizations, including the United Nations UNCTAD body, where we had a prior speaker dedicated to that, the Stanford University, Jumia, and as well, advocates in the private sectors for women empowerment, which is well known, like L'Oréal, which is working as well with UNESCO. She's the founder of Inoa Consulting, a company that is helping mission-driven organizations to make social impact, leveraging innovation and entrepreneurship and the digital economy. So that will be the first speaker with us in the conversation. The second great person to join will be Susharita Ishwar. So Susharita is based in Bangalore, and she is promoted and mentored women entrepreneurs for almost a decade. She is the founder of Catalyst for Women Entrepreneurship, CWE, which is a platform that supports women to initiate their project, their startup, and to scale up their enterprise. Right now, as of now, more than 5,000 entrepreneurs from 55 cities in India have been supported. Susharita is India ambassador for 15 Tech. She is involved at multi-stakeholder levels, and she was recently involved as well related to the business, the B20, related to the initiatives in the Gulf, and with that session. And the last speaker we will have is someone that I had the privilege to meet as well, in Japan, which is Miu Fujinaga. Miu is a great talented artist, ambassador in a way for Japan's culture, and strong messages and creations of songs and peace, and as well, women empowerment through her talents of advocating for cultures through her commitment. So, first of all, I would like, to start with Candace. So, Candace, what can you tell us? What are the reasons for your commitment on the journey of women empowerment, and I would say as well inclusive development in the regions of Africa that you are supporting?
Thank you. My reasons are very personal. As I told you, I grew up in Cameroon.
We cannot hear Candace. Candace, maybe you are on mute.
Am I on mute? I don't think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Perfect.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So my reasons are very personal. As I told you, I grew up in Cameroon, and I have seen how my mother struggled with not having financial independence in our household and the things she tolerated because of that. Subsequently, even despite the fact that I grew up in a rather patriarchal culture and environment, and I was against that, I ended up also finding myself in a relationship where I didn't have full financial independence. I was working, but I was, I would say, somewhat financial dependent to the person I was engaged with. And the relationship was also physically abusive. So I felt powerless because I was looking for a savior. And it took me years of plotting and strategizing to extract myself from that situation, be admitted to a French business school, start a brand new career, and become the professional that I have become today. And because I've seen and I continue to see so many women of different ages being disempowered and not being able to support their children, their families, or themselves, or live up to their full potential, because they haven't been told that they could, I made it my mission to as much as I can through my business and personally to give women the tools to become the better version of themselves and enter a relationship from a place of choice rather than from a place of survival.
Well, thank you very much, Candace, for this sharing of your personal initiatives and journey. I turn now to Susharita. So, Susharita, you are leading, in many ways, innovations for good to impact and empower women. But first of all, the first question is, how did it started for you? You are almost a veteran now of women empowerment. 5,000 of them have been supported and more by extension. So where did it started?
We can hear you.
Susharita, you're on mute.
Susharita, you are on mute. Sorry, you are on mute, Susharita. Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah. It's great to be here, and it's great to meet two dynamic women and exciting women today, and looking forward to exchanging views with you. My journey, I think even as a child, I am the third of 4 siblings, and my 2 older brothers always had a preferential or different treatment. For example, if we went out to play, I was told I had to get back home before sunset, but my brothers were allowed to come back home later. Why? Because they were boys. And I was told that you have to learn how to cook because you're a girl, and when you get married, that is what you will do. So, I grew up listening to these messages and questioning them. And as I went through different phases in my career, I also experienced limitations that many women go through. Like, for example, when I had my first baby, I found that the career that I was in, which was in media, where I would go out in the morning and come back maybe late at night, and my baby would be asleep in the morning and gone back to sleep when I came home. And I felt that being the primary caregiver, this is not what was right. So I had to pivot in my career, and I naturally went into the development sector and working with women at the grassroots. And as I moved later into the technology sector, the ICT sector, it naturally came to me to see how to include more women and get them into the industry I was in, and also enable them to grow to leadership positions. And also, having gone through an experience where I was a single mother, having to worry about how I pay the rent, the food on the table, the school fees, I early on realized that financial empowerment and autonomy is fundamental to any autonomy or independence or empowerment that we look at for women or for any individual. So that is where I have focused my attention in the last few years, and which inspired me to set up this platform, Catalyst for Women Entrepreneurship, where we help women to start up, to scale up their businesses, stand on their own feet, and run their own lives. So that's been my journey.
Well, Susharita, thank you very much, and we will have some follow-up question on how the platform works. You know, we want to better understand that. But I turn myself now to Mew. Mew, you are very much engaged in culture and peace and women empowerment. Uh, um, but we would like as well to understand where did it come from? Where does values, have been, finding their seed and grown into the reality and the commitment you are, delivering as an artist?
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Mio. I'm a singer and songwriter. I create music I do because I hope to share the beauty of traditional Japanese culture with the world. I come up with this idea from my international and domestic experiences. I was originally interested in traveling abroad and communicating with many people from different nationalities. So I was traveling and backpacking in many countries. And also, I was doing volunteer work in India or like other countries as well. And I was always interested in outside of Japan and abroad, something new and I had never seen. So I was curious about the world. But I also became Miss Japan to represent Japan and introducing Japanese culture and Japanese tourism to many countries. And the more I saw outside of Japan and the rest of the world, I realized that how beautiful culture we have in our country, like in Japan. So that made me feel like I want to bring this and present this beautiful culture, Japanese culture, to the world. So that was inspiring me to do this because I thought the culture is what we are. Culture is our identity. So I wanted to express this through my music, through my activities. So this is how I was inspired.
Thank you, Mew. Thank you very much. And I note, culture is what we are. It is our identity. I think we all agree in that, but it's very profound. And I would even say, no better than women might be able, to preserve and the roots of our identities, because life goes through a woman that give birth, and that is something which is absolutely formidable. I turn myself now to Candace. So Candace, could you, you are an entrepreneur, you are a woman entrepreneur, which is what we want to see in the world. We want to see a woman being, having the opportunity to make things move and change in the world. So could you tell us a little bit more about your initiative, your company, and what you do concretely to empower and impact people around you?
Thank you for that question. So just to give you a little bit of element of background, the most interesting, I would say exciting part of my career started, so I've been working for more or less 12 years now, but the more interesting part of my career started when I moved back from Cameroon to run Jumia Market, which is an e-commerce startup. Basically, my role as a country manager was to help local merchants to scale up their business and be able to sell more and make an impact in their community by teaching them how to use internet to generate more income. Then a few years later, I start working with Stanford University, helping entrepreneurs from the region, West Africa and Central Africa, to scale up their business using innovation, not only digital innovation, but innovation in general to make a social impact and create growth and employment in their respective country. From there, I moved to Geneva, working for the United Nations, UNCTAD more specifically, to run E-Trade for Women, which was a program aiming at helping, which is, because the program is still running, a program aiming at helping women digital entrepreneurs to make their voice heard by decision maker in the policy making spaces, but also to scale up their business, because we need more successful women digital entrepreneurs that are visible and that are recognized to inspire the next generation and create a more inclusive environment. I, on the side, have been coaching independently for the past 9 years. I have coached, I first focused on students, then young professionals, then professionals and entrepreneurs. So a few years ago, I created the company Black Roses Mentors, aiming at coaching mid-career professional women and entrepreneurs who feel stuck and want to move in a new direction in their career or business and attract exciting opportunities. Basically, another way to help women professionals to make their voice heard and access the same opportunities as male would have, for example. On the other hand, after my next tenure at the UN, which ended last summer, basically, I decided to create Inoa Consulting, which is aiming at helping mission-driven organizations who want to make a social impact, leveraging innovation, digital economy, entrepreneurship. So a very practical way. What I do, and with the network of consultants I collaborate with, is helping government, foundation, international agency, corporation, who have beneficiaries or staff members who want them, for example, let's say a country is worried about the impact on COVID on its economy and small merchant. How do we help more merchants to become more resilient and build more resilient business, leveraging the digital economy and innovation when they were not necessarily digitally literated in the past? What I help doing is to create and design and implement capacity building program to make that happen in an effective and efficient way. I also provide consulting services for this company. So on the one hand, I will support mission-driven organizations who don't necessarily have the knowledge, the field knowledge or the skills to make those things happen, but who still care. And on the other hand, I directly help women who want to transform their career and businesses.
Wow, I like that.
Thank you.
I think this is good, because you build up experience, on the bottom up approach. You have been as well, you made the journey to work in collaboration and for a United Nations body with UNTAD, and now you bring your expertise back to. As well to people from the youngest to more advanced entrepreneurs. I think I see this path as really a giving back, a sharing and giving back aspect. In just to follow up on that, the exchange that you have with those with those people that you advise, do you see that they are having more hope for success after the interactions and after what you are providing them? And that would be as well a question. I would be very happy to have the view of Susharita just after.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the beauty of capacity building and coaching and mentoring and those kind of things. Generally, you have two types of limit. You have the environmental limit, infrastructure, government policy, etc. But most importantly, you also have the inner limit, the upper limit that we decide on, that we think we can't really surpass but our potential. and which prevent us to open our eyes to the right opportunity and connect to the right people, basically. So one key aspect of what I do generally is to show or connect beneficiaries with people just like them who have achieved extraordinary thing or who are on their way to achieve extraordinary thing, but who are coming from the exact same background and difficulties. And that's actually how in Cameroon we managed to convince skeptical merchants to learn how to sell on a digital platform by basically figuring other merchants that were just like them, but willing to experiment and succeed by selling online, and just connecting those people together. So beyond the networking and creating content and teaching and funding, etc., there is a power in representation and inclusivity by showing people who look like them who are achieving great things. So this, I would say, beyond the traditional international development approach, the power of networking, connection, and representation has been the main source of hope for the people I've worked with, whereas whether it was in a one-on-one basis or in a group, more collective capacity.
Mm. So thank you very much, Candace. And the power of networking as a source of that's very, very strong as well. So Susharita, what Candace is articulating is what your platform is facilitating in the intermediation of connection. So could you share with us a little bit about how the platform works and what are the concrete aspects, what you have seen in how it benefits women thanks to what you have created overall? Susharita, you need to unmute yourself. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Keep forgetting. I agree with Candace. And when before we started this platform in 2016, we decided to study the ecosystem that currently existed for women who want to start up something on their own. And we joined with two other organizations to do a study called Roadmap to 2020 for accelerating women entrepreneurship in India. And we interviewed not just women, but also male entrepreneurs, policymakers, investors, and business organizations, business associations. And there were 5 challenges that emerged that we found everyone said women face. The first one was access to finance. Women found it difficult to get started or even to scale up once they started because they were not getting finance. The second one was access to new markets. They did not know how to market. The third one was technology. In today's world, unless you leverage technology, you will not be able to grow your business. But women were not doing that. The fourth one was we found women were not part of networks that would help them. They do their business, they go home because they have to be with family. So that again was a challenge and a constraining factor. And the fifth one was business skills, what Candace mentioned as capacity building. They either did not have, for example, financial skills or how to build a business plan, or they did not have confidence in their own abilities. So this is what we discovered, and we decided to bring in partner organizations so that we could deliver on these things to them. So we tied up with number of financial organizations to give them access to debt financing, equity financing, loans, etc. Similarly, we are the India partner for the International Trade Center, which has an initiative called She Trades Global to bring women into global markets. I think some of you may be aware of that. So similarly, we have these tie-ups which help us make these, build the capacity of these women and connect them to grow their business. But I think a major factor which we have realized and we work on is addressing women's own mindsets. Women, because of the cultural conditioning over centuries, do not have confidence in their own ability to pursue their passion or what they need to do to be able to fulfill themselves and their lives. And when it comes to starting or running a business, they don't feel confident, and therefore they either don't get started and they keep saying, I don't know how, or they start small and they stay small. Even after 5 years, they're doing the same kind of level of business which they started out with. So this is again another area I think we need to be working in to open up horizons for women to believe in themselves, equip themselves, and really go out into the world and express themselves. So that's what my work is all about.
Very, very beautiful actions, Susharita. And the follow-up, just the follow-up questions is, you mentioned something which is very important. It's a confidence for women to believe in themselves and in their ability to become autonomous or entrepreneur in a way. What has been, like the experience? Have you seen something changing in their eyes, something changing in their smile, in their confidence? How do you? What's your testimonial aspect? Having exchanges with so many women and supporting them on the different journey. What is the secret or the seed of finding the confidence for women?
I think the main thing is to open up their minds and expose them to role models. When they see a woman like herself who comes from her own kind of background, who started out struggling but has made it big, then she begins to feel, hey, I can do this also. And so that is what we do. We also help them to network, to learn from each other. I think there is great value in these things.
Very
So,
nice, very nice. So open up network. So the open up aspect is really, like here to encourage, like building the bridge between themselves. So that's important, and it transitioned me on the bridges of culture and what you are supporting, you acting, like to support Japanese culture to go abroad and to meet with other, like diversities and citizens around the planet. So, could you please share us what has inspired you to act in that endeavor? Why are you supporting this bridge of collaboration?
Yes, as I said before, I became Miss Japan to introduce Japanese culture and the Japanese tourism to the world. And I communicated with many contestants from all over the world, and I exchanged many values and thoughts with many people from different backgrounds, different religions, and different races. So that was inspiring me and realizing me that uh, I am I am Japanese. So I felt like I am Japanese, and I thought we have so many beautiful culture and very unique and original. Right, that is making us unique and original in the world. So I was introducing Japanese culture as a contestant as Miss Japan, but when I started music, I wanted to do that through my music because I'm a songwriter. I'm writing songs for myself. So I decided to put this message in my music. So that was bringing me to do this now, and I decided to using the Japanese traditional culture and traditional sound with Western modern beat and like mainstream music, like Western music as well. So like mixing together, because this is like West meets East. So this is kind of universe, I was thinking. So I wanted to unite various kinds of culture, and like I wanted to come together with everyone as one. So this was my motivation.
Very nice view, very nice. So thank you very much for sharing that. Susharita, if you could mute yourself, because there is maybe a little sound. Perfect. That's perfect. So we will go now to Candace and go more specifically to the root of this conference, which is a special G20 edition. So Candace, having interacted with multi-stakeholder approach, what will be your recommendation or formulated advice to share with the G20 and beyond governments? How can we improve the status and the access and the practice that will facilitate women empowerment across the world?
You partially responded to the question by mentioning the multi-stakeholder approach. Basically, it's by humbling joining forces among different entities to making that happen, and collaborating in a humble and authentic way. And for that, I truly believe in having innovative and I would say forward-thinking representative on each side, whether it's in the public sector, international development center, or private sector, that are extremely focused on the goal rather than on politics and all that. That will be able to think outside of the box and make things move forward. Because the topic of women empowerment has been critical for many, many years. But I think that we could move faster and more significantly if we are more innovative and less trapped into heavy bureaucracy and conflicting agenda, and give more space to people who have done the work, and who are maybe on the ground, and even if they are not on the ground, who have like the right track record to make women empowerment a reality, to make that happen, having a more innovative entrepreneurial approach to it. It's not necessarily easy, but yes, that's my conviction.
So I like very much the ending of what you say, which is basically empowering the ones that have the experience in making the difference on the ground. I think this is something very important, of course, in a multi-stakeholder aspect, but this is about, local. We have to identify the talents that have the experience locally to make the difference, and then we have to empower those people. And I agree with that. Thank you very much. Susharita, back to you, and you will have to unmute yourself this time. So, Susharita, in that framework of the G20 recommendations that we are formulating, so with your perspective, having done so much and having seen so many women becoming independent, self-sufficient, becoming entrepreneurs, that experience, there are some takeaways. What are the takeaways maybe you would like to share to not only our audience, but if that message will be able to be conveyed to the governments around the world and the G20 in particular, what will be those recommendations of yours?
Well, as we agreed, financial autonomy is fundamental for women's empowerment. And we have seen some progress. For example, I chaired the G20, Women's 20 group on financial empowerment for women. And the recommendations that my group gave resulted in a 1 billion fund for women entrepreneurship, which the World Bank announced. That was a big win for women in business. And we do see a lot more women being educated and, moving into careers, etc. But a lot remains to be done. And for autonomy and empowerment to be real, I think education still is very, very important, and a lot of attention and investment has to go there, especially in science, technology. Secondly, access to the digital world, because that's how the world works today, especially now after the pandemic, and access to digital tools. So Candice is doing good work in that area. And policies to ensure that women are there in decision-making positions, whether it's in government, in the corporate sector, in financial institutions, in social and cultural institutions. We have to put in place the policies to make that happen. It's not going to happen on its own, or it may take another 50 years. And in order to track the progress that is being made, I think gender disaggregated data, collecting that in a standardized format globally. And I think at the G20, we have been discussing it about how across the board we collect gender disaggregated data to track all these different factors that I spoke about. I think would be a major recommendation that we all should be looking at, so that we know, we know what to do, and we know the difference that our work is making, and what are the gaps which need to be filled. So I'll stop here. I'm sure there'll be other things all of you will come up with.
Well, Susharita, thank you very much. It's very granular. I would say the recommendation you formulate are very granular, and we thank you for the leadership. You are supportive in the different organizations and the committee you participate to support the position of women globally. So thank you very much for sharing your message. I'm going back to Mew. So first of all, congratulations, because we heard that you just had the beautiful news having a baby. So that's lovely to hear. Mew, could you be kind enough to share with us how, like, being a woman was, like, instrumental in your path as an artist? And your journey. And I think as well, after you will share your answer, you will be, making us the privilege to listen a little bit to your music.
Yeah, I think the beauty of being a woman is like we can be able to have a baby, so we can give a birth. I think that's beautiful. But at the same time, that was always scaring me, because I was a career-minded person, and I felt like I have to pause my career, I have to stop my career to some extent, and like I have to give up my career to some extent. That I was thinking. But I changed my mind, because I talked with my husband, and like my husband promised me to support me and support my career, support me pursuing my dreams and career. So like I became positive, and finally I felt like I want to have a baby now. So, but always like there's a time limit and age limit as well, age limitation as well. So like I was always thinking like I want to have a baby someday, but not now. And I want to do I want to build my career first. I want to do this first to the fullest. Then I can think about having a baby. That's what I was thinking. But I became quite positive last year, and like I really want a baby now. I was thinking, and I had a baby this year, and I realized that how beautiful to have a baby as a woman, because we can be a mother, we can create a new life. That was really beautiful, and I changed my mind. I can still continue my career. I can still keep on doing like what I want to do. I don't need to give up my career. I don't need to stop nor pause my career or dream pursuing my dreams. So, and now I have a baby, and so beautiful, and I'm so blessed. So this is something really beautiful. So like I hope, like I think for that we need partners understanding. So I hope like the society and like government system or like everything is more like understanding like women's like because so women's understanding, so we women can get back to our career, can get back to our job like easier. So I think we need more understanding from men or our partners. So that's what I felt, and also that was really motivating and encouraging me to pursue my career and dream more and more. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mew. Thank you very much. Mew, would you like to share with us a little bit of the magic you can practice conveying your culture with us?
Yes. So um, for the empowering women or like those who have their own dreams, I want to give this song to everyone. It's called Pave My Way. So seize your dream and pave the way. This is a message from this song. So please have a listen. Pave My Way. Are you ready? 準備はいいですか？自分だけの花を咲かせるとき Seizure 譲れないもの Everybody come and follow me Seizure 揺るがないもの Everybody come and follow me 誰に求められない強い夢があるなら前に前に Fly away Fly away 信じて道を開く I must say I will pave my way I must say I will find my way I will find my way I will pave my way
Beautiful.
Wow. This is
positive energy.
this is magic energy, and I can tell you, I think we have received it, all of us, but as well all the audience. And this is the moment. Thank you, Mew, for
Thank you very much.
sharing your talent, but as well very genuine words. It needs indeed a lot of courage for many women to not sacrifice a role as a potential mother and role as mother, and as well their dreams and aspirations. I think what you shared with us is very universal. It's a huge challenge. And I think the answer is, as you say, we have a responsibility to be supportive of life. And so we have to be supportive of women. Thank you for sharing all of that. Candace, I turn to you. I'm a little bit touched. My heart has been touched by new song. We want to see where we can listen to that songs again, because it's amazing. But so Candace, if you had for concluding remark some thoughts to share with the citizens of the world listening to us and beyond, after the video will be live stream, recorded, and broadcast. So what will be this message that is coming from all what you are achieving for others around you?
I think the core of my message would be for everybody, whether in position of power in a developed country or in a developing country and in not so powerful position, to try to practice compassionate and servant leadership. And that requires to be self-aware, to know who you are, what are your triggers, what are your bias, and be, honest about it with yourself, to have empathy towards others, even when they don't share your views or your condition, to have humility, to always question your point of views. Like, am I right? Am I sure? Can I be better? And always, and most importantly, always nurture what makes you happy. Whatever the career you're pursuing, if your career is not 100% aligned with your passion, which happens, let's be honest, it's important as a human being to always nurture what makes us happy, whether it's a side passion, whether it's your family, whether it's your creativity, because I truly believe that people that find a way to nurture their own happiness, that are humble, empathetic, and self-aware, make wonderful, compassionate, and servant leaders. And servant leaders help build a great society.
Candace, thank you very much. I will focus in what you say to nurture and find what is, dear to our hearts.
Yes.
That's what makes you happy. I think this is, if we are finding our way to happiness, how can we not share happiness with others? And learn from others on happiness, on the journey of happiness. It's very beautiful thoughts you just expressed with us and our audience. I think it's a very, very nice exchange we have, and I turn myself now to Susharita. Susharita, in the same way, in the same capacity, if you have some words and thoughts to share with women and beyond, with humanity, that can inspire us, what will be those words? We need you to unmute, Susharita. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Once again,
It's okay.
we women are 50% of the population of the world. And unless we come into the mainstream, we give the best that we have to the world, it's not going to be a sustainable and exciting world. And we've made some progress. At least 6 of the major nations of our country are led by women, and I think they're doing a good job. We are seeing Nobel Prize winners who are coming up as women. And a lot of women like those of us here who are making a difference to ourselves first and then to those around us. So we are set on a very positive path to transforming this earth, I think. I think it's women who are going to show the leadership and who will transform this world to make it sustainable and exciting. And the one message I would say, I would quote Sheryl Sandberg, who's an icon for many women in business. And she says, if you're, and this message to all women across the world, if you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get in. So that's what is the invitation I'm sending out to all women around the world. Just get onto that rocket ship and keep going.
Well, Susharita, thank you so much for enabling us, to be transported, like to the rocket of hope for 100% of the world population, and thanks to the 50% of the population where there is so much we can learn, and we can give opportunity to do things differently. So thank you very much for the valuable insights and all what you are doing. Miu, now I'm turning to you for concluding this session, this absolutely moving session. It was, I think, very profound, very deep, and with very concrete steps and solutions. Miu, what would be the recommendations or message you would like to share to the G20 and to the citizens of the world?
Yes, I just became a mother lately, so I feel the importance of nursery. So I think nursery is very important, but in Japan or in the UK here, I think everywhere, I think nursery is always competitive and too popular and very difficult access for us. So it's very competitive. So and also expensive. So I think like if there's more opportunity to access to nursery, I think we can get back to our career, get back to job easier and quicker. So I think I hope the government will give us more opportunity for the nursery, I think. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
You're on mute.
Yes, if you are the last word and recommendation for the citizens around the planet, what would be these words, except from the songs that you do? Because I think your message is really in the songs you write and you share with us. But what will be maybe those words you would like to share with us?
Yes, I think women are the mother of life. So like respect that aspect, and women also should feel like we are the mother. So we are very strong because we create life. So all of the life we create. So I think that's the message.
Wow, what a message! I think it's very powerful. Women are the mother of life, and a mother and women are strong because they create life. Wow. Uh, uh, dear Miu, dear Susharita, dear Kanda, thank you so much for joining SIGEF special G20 edition. Thank you for the genuineness and as well the passion of your words. And we look forward with each one of you to continue the dialogue and to see how we can foster new chapters of collaboration and new chapters for humanity to enter a more and advance a more sustainable way for common ground and common people. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and look
Have a
forward
lovely
to
day.
working together.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.